What if one morning you woke up in a rowboat and were tasked with taking up the mantle of ferrying spirits to the other side? Would you collect as many spirit friends as you could? Would you hug them and make their favorite meals to keep them comfortable? Or would you sail the open seas in search of mementos from their past? You could experience all of that and more in today's game, Spiritfarer. What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3VO, where we are all on the same team. I'm one of your hosts, Brendan.
And I'm the other one, Jordan.
And if you're just tuning in for the first time, we're just two big old nerds that really love to share our love of video games with everybody. And if that's the kind of person that you are, then you're in the right spot. Welcome to the show. Before we get started, as always, it's time to check in. Jordan, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I am here and I am awake. And so, you know, all of that is a positive.
Oh, good.
we're rolling with right now.
I'm also here and I'm also caffeinated.
Yes.
So, typically we film these episodes in the evening time, but today we're doing it in the morning time, so it's a little different for us.
Yeah.
Just a little peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, my schedule for my day job had to get shifted a little bit, and I work graves. So Brendan was very kind to let me come over early in the morning, so that way I could take care of him before I go home and sleep.
And so let's get through today's episode so that you can get home and sleep.
It's also a more sober episode.
That was a real big peek behind the curtain.
Just to mention that.
So what are you playing right now?
Other than the stuff for this one, I'm still working primarily on my Final Fantasy X playthrough, which is going better than the last time I talked about my playthrough for Final Fantasy X. Something I did want to bring up at the top of this thing now, since it got mentioned in a different episode, but it's more likely going to get cut from the episode. Just wanted to bring up, I've been getting a lot of joy from watching people playing Mass Effect, on like seeing their clips on like TikTok and on YouTube and stuff like that. It's just we always end up talking about Mass Effect. I know we do. It's very important to us.
Kind of a broken record about Mass Effect.
But just like what I've been seeing lately is like it feels like whatever this generation is that has gotten a hold of the game through the Legendary Edition, I feel like they get it. Like we got it when we played it. And I feel like there wasn't a lot of that when the game first came out. So it's really nice to kind of see like other people pick it up and like really, really enjoying it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We've been playing a lot of Dead Cells in this household.
You've mentioned
Which I've mentioned before.
Yeah.
It's it's one of those that you don't really like beat in a reasonable amount of time.
Right.
So we've been like throwing ourselves at brick walls because that's what you do in Dead Cells.
Right.
And also we've been playing through It Takes Two, which is that new two-player co-op game. It's delightful. Every time we play it, we have no idea what we're in for, and it's a joyous adventure every time. We just played through a section. So basically, it's like a 3D like RPG platformer type situation. And a lot of it has been like, okay, you go to a new area and you get like a weapon or something or a tool, and you use that to solve puzzles in the area and you get through. And each has had its own kind of like flavor and theme. Gotcha. We just went through a section though that was totally top-down Diablo style RPG for a little bit. It was awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, just in the middle, and it's cool because it's the kind of game that like it can do that and it's okay. It doesn't feel like whoa, what happened here? We took
it's
a
not just
sharp
like we
turn.
Just shifted into a completely different style of gameplay. Like all of a sudden, it actually works.
Totally okay. It totally works.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a weird way, it's like a hodgepodge of different kind of like styles and themes and things.
Yeah.
But, it totally works.
Nice.
We're totally into it.
Still need to check that one out. You talked about it enough. I need to at least give it a shot.
I feel like we should play it.
That's a great idea.
It is a two-player specific game.
It's a very good idea. I like it.
Well, now that we've got that out of the way, it's time to talk about what we're really here to talk about, which is Spiritfarer. So Spiritfarer, if you haven't heard, is a newer game from an indie developer and publisher called Thunder Lotus. They have a couple of other games. I hadn't really heard about them until I picked up Spiritfarer, but now having played through Spiritfarer, I'm very interested in checking out their other stuff. But anyways, with Spiritfarer, basically it's like a management sim meets action platformer, which you think wouldn't really go together, but it totally works. Yeah. You've been ascribed the new job of being Spiritfarer. So you have to take up the mantle of ferrying spirits to the other side by Charon. And yes, that Charon of like Greek mythology. You wake up in a boat and he's like, hey, I gotta go. But you're the new Spiritfarer now. Have fun. Bye. And he like pieces through the door.
It's one of my favorites. He doesn't explain. He's just like, it's my last day, so this is on you now, kid. Bye.
No training. No manager to refer to. No.
It's like you know what this is. Like you'll figure it out. Go on. You got this, kid.
So Thunder Lotus's site describes the game as a cozy management sim about dying, which I adore. I adore that description.
A great description for the game.
It's so perfect. Cozy is the perfect word to describe this game because at no point, I played through the whole game. I think you can agree. At no point are you stressed out about anything that's happening. It's never so difficult that you can't complete a task. It's not tedious really at any point. No. It's cozy.
And I mean, I am stressed playing it, but that's my own shit. It's got nothing to do with the game itself.
Okay. Do you need to talk?
No, I'm good. I'm fine. Now, this was one, so I never really heard about this game other than you sort of talking about it to me outside the podcast and going, like, I found this, like, delightful game that's just, like...
Yeah.
And you started describing it to me, but the moment I started playing it, my first thought immediately was, okay, this goes in my category of video games that I consider art. Like, it's something else beyond just, like, being really cool or, like, really fun or interesting or, like, visually dynamic. There's something else really, really engaging about this game that I really, really like.
I agree. The whole game is completely hand-drawn. And that's kind of Thunder Lotus's thing. Having researched their other games, they're all just beautiful hand-drawn creations.
And that's the thing. It's gorgeous. It's such a beautiful game. When I started it in the beginning with Charon, like essentially giving you the task and whatnot, I just paused it and called the roommate Jess over because she was in the kitchen. I was just like, you just need to come look at this.
Just look at this shot.
Because this is one of the most visually appealing things I've ever looked at, like, period. And she walked in and was just like, you watching a cartoon? I was like, this is a video game, dude.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, big ups to Thunder Lotus.
Oh my god, the look on this thing is so good.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Every part of the game is just that beautiful hand-drawn animation. It's all there's so much care. You know,
you can feel it.
So much care that went into it.
Yeah.
That's one of the best parts about this game. And in beautiful concert with that, no pun intended, the score is incredible.
The music's wonderful. The music's wonderful. It fits for every moment that you're in the game. It perfectly fits. And it's just so I've been trying to keep myself from using a certain word because we were talking a little before we started recording about whether if I wanted to print out my notes or anything like that. The reason I said no is because all my notes kind of eventually sort of became the same note, just about different things.
Wall of beautiful and amazing.
Well, it all just became the spirits are delightful. The fishing is delightful. Catching lightning in a bottle is delightful. Like, that was just the word I kept using to describe it so much. I was just like, if that's... Not to say like that there's nothing else to say, but if that's the only way I'm going to put this, there's no point in me taking notes. Like,
I get it. I get it. Delightful is also a great word.
So good. Cozy is a really good way to describe it.
Cozy and delightful.
Just feel the game just makes you feel warm. Like, I don't know how else to say it other than like the game just makes me feel like safe.
So to back all of that up, you've got, the beautiful art, you've got a beautiful score. You have two kind of opposing ideas as far as a video game is concerned. You have like the management sim aspect, and then you have like the action RPG aspect. Yeah. So let's talk about the management sim portion first. So the management sim is like when you're on your ship and you have these spirits that you're collecting. And one of the main functions of the Spiritfarer is to basically keep the spirits comfortable while, they're on her ship and until they're ready to pass on, which comes in the form of like hugging them, giving them living quarters, making them food, and not giving them food that they don't like.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes.
making their favorite meal if you can discover it.
Although even the way that you put that, saying just like, don't give them a meal they don't like, no, that's putting too much pressure on the moment than what is actually in the game. Because even if they don't like it, they're just kind of like, no.
Yeah,
like,
it's true. They're not going to be like upset. Their mood doesn't go down. They're just like, nah, I don't want to eat that thing.
And you're not at risk of losing your spirits or failing a quest or something like that.
No. And that's a really good point. You're right. There's no consequences at any point.
Yeah.
Even if you, I can't even imagine how badly you could mess up something that, it would seem like a consequence. It's not that kind of game.
I accidentally rang the bell in the middle of the day one time just because I was jumping and clicking through and accidentally hit the bell. And one of the characters got a little upset about it.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's day. Isn't it a little, come on, why are we doing the bell right now?
That's really funny.
But even speaking of the management system itself, even that, if you had told me, I think when you did tell me you were like, it's got a management system, I was like, that's not going to be for me. It's too tedious and too stressful. But even that, it's just fun. The first time I cooked something, I assumed if I left it in the oven for too long, I was going to burn it. But I forgot about one, stuck it in there, went to an island, chopped down a bunch of trees, found another spear, and did a bunch of stuff, and came back and was and got the little notification. I was like, oh God, it's ruined. Oh, it's fine.
No, it's fine.
No, never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Literally, this is the most stress-free game I've played in a long, long time.
Stress-free. Absolutely. And that comes from having a really optimized management system because what's really great is at the beginning of the game, Charon gives you what's called the Everlight, and it's just this little yellow orb. And Stella wears it like a belt buckle, so it's always on her, and it's all of your tools for the whole game. Yeah. So if you need a pickaxe, it's a pickaxe. If you need a fishing rod, it's a fishing rod. If you need a scythe, if you need anything that you could need, it's that and more.
Well, Stella's not the only one who has.
Oh, of course.
We can't forget about.
How could I forget? Stella has a companion, her cat Daffodil, who also has a little orb of Everlight, and sometimes helps out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's essential to the game. I would say
integral. But yeah, so you have this all-in-one tool. You don't have to go on tedious missions to get the tool to do the thing to create the thing. No, you've just got it all at the beginning, and it doesn't take up space in your inventory.
Nope.
Also, space in your inventory isn't really a thing. You have an endless inventory.
There's no limit to how much stuff you could have, where you could keep stuff. It's so nice. But thinking about it now, that makes sense because we talked about a little before we started recording. That sort of, as we talk about how delightful and cozy and carefree and wonderful the game is, there is that other undertone to it where you kind of go, oh, we're all dead. All these characters are spirits on a boat. Even your own character, it starts off being ferried in by Charon. So it's just even your character, the only why they're there is because of whatever happened to them previously.
Right. Exactly.
But also lends into the gameplay too, because it's just why would you have a limited space?
Right.
You're dead. This isn't the real world anymore.
You're dead. It's cool.
We're doing the spirit world.
So you have limitless pockets when you're dead. No, you're right. Yeah. No, it makes sense. And I think that's really, one, as a player, thank you. Thank you.
See, if there wasn't any kind of limit on the stuff I could have, or a fucking weight limit. Just made me
looking at you, Bethesda.
I get it, but it's annoying.
So yeah, one, thank you, because as a player it makes it very much more accessible.
Yeah,
I would say. And then two, it also helps to let the tone of the game and the story shine through. Yeah, because you're not concerning yourself with everything else, oh my gosh, I gotta clear out my inventory, or I gotta go get a pickaxe, or whatever it might be. It's just no, it's good. Experience the game, experience the story, and appreciate it for what it is. And having that opens you to that.
That's a good way to put it, because especially with guys like us who we're here for the story. I feel like we've talked about it with other games that are they give you too much stuff to do, or too much stuff to pick up, or move around and whatnot. That it's I feel like you can get bogged down with trying to figure out the details of the game to where you stop worrying, you stop caring about the actual story.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And with a story like this, especially when you're talking about something like death.
Yeah.
And loss.
Yeah.
And acceptance. Like, I think it's really, really clever to just say, we're going to make this as optimized as possible. We're going to make the like quality of life so good on this game that you can just experience it stress-free and really appreciate the story for what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made me kind of hope that, like, if there is an afterlife, is this what Limbo's like? Because that would be cool. Like, I'd be down if this is like, Limbo. You know, my in-between, like, before I move on to the next phase.
Another aspect of the management part of it all is that you've got a boat, man. You get to like build stuff on it, and you get to give little homes to the spirits. I very much appreciate this aspect.
I love how incredibly unrealistic completely unrealistic the building aspect is to it, because it's just like
well, you're dead.
No, I know, and it totally goes with the theme. Yeah. But it's just like the way the boat. It's also like picture a boat, audience. Like you know, you've all seen boats. You've seen movies. So then, like towards the back of the boat or whatever it's called in nautical terminology, I don't know. The aft. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Back there, you have like like the captain's quarters with the map and all this stuff is, and like basically where you go and like would control the boat.
Yeah, your navigation system. Yeah.
And then the giant empty space in the front of it is where all your other stuff goes, which can be a garden, a field, a guest house, like 4 different houses for each spirit you have on your ship.
Yeah.
A sawmill, just all kind. And you just stack like all my.
As high as you can.
I don't know about you, but my stuff is currently it's like 3 stories high right now. It's just like stacked on stacked on stacked.
Well, I ended up getting all of the upgrades for the ship, and it gets fucking massive. Yeah, just massive.
I think I've only gotten 3. Full disclosure, I didn't beat the game, unfortunately. I didn't realize how long it was going to be. Like, it's such a dense game.
It's a dense game,
and I don't mean that in a bad way because I'm going to keep playing it. I love this game so much, but I didn't realize how dense it was going to be. So I just like
me either.
Yeah, so I'm like 2 or 3 upgrades on the actual boat size. So I'm like the 3rd biggest, I think, or something like that. Yeah, so decent size.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had like one thing and immediately ran out of space.
Well, and one of the things, I don't know if you've discovered this yet, but one of the things is you can't get rid of the spirits' quarters after they've passed on. So you might think, they've passed the other door, like maybe I can get the space back by taking their building away, but actually it has to remain on the ship.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's okay. You're gonna have the space for it. Again, no consequences.
Oh no, I'm not.
no feel bads in this game.
Oh no, at some point I want to do a full run of the game where I just I can see if I don't make the ship bigger, if I could just keep stacking.
You cannot.
I can't? Oh, that's a bummer.
You cannot.
That's a bummer. I wanted to just
No, there's like a ceiling
giant
cap.
Tower.
There's like a ceiling cap. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. I was hoping.
It's just a giant tower. Oh my goodness. That's silly.
A little bit. But yeah, it's just being able to control all that stuff on your ship, and well, not control, but just like being able to have that stuff in your ship, and again, just not having the stress of the stress behind like, oh, we'll go check on your sawmill or go do this or da-da-da-da. Like nothing happens on it without you knowing that it's happening for the most part, or even if it does, it's just one of your spirits on the ship who's just
helping out.
And just like, hey, I got some logs for you. Here you go.
Yeah,
I made some linen for you. Here you go.
Delightful.
It's like I went and played music for your plants.
I love playing music for the plants.
It's so much fun.
It's so fun.
It's so much fun. I don't get to do it a lot because normally I'm like, water plants and then run off and do a bunch of shit and let my plants grow and whatnot.
Exactly. And again, it's one of the nice things that you don't feel like, oh my gosh, I need to like grow these things as fast as I can because I got to make the thing to give to the person. None of that. It's like, okay, I'm going to plant these and then I'll go fuck around for a while and I'll come back and I'll be done. And it's so nice. And on top of that, so you know how usually when you have like a crafting system,
yes,
it'll be like, okay, you plant a seed and you get like carrot, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, if I have 5 carrots, I can make 1 carrot thing,
yes,
right? And then if I take 5 of those carrot things, I can make a thing. Not the case in this game at all. And that is across the board with crafting for the entirety of the game. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, if I need to... like the linen, so you get like linen fibers by growing linen plants, and then you get like say you plant a linen seed, you'll get like 3 or 4 linen pieces.
You get 3 per seed you plant, yeah.
And then you take that to the loom, and each one linen fiber makes like 2 or more linen cloths.
Yeah.
So it's actually an expanding crafting system.
I was gonna say, it takes the opposite away of how people normally do that stuff. Yeah, where it's like you got 3, you get like 6 of the next product now.
Mm-hmm. So you're compounding as you go up the crafting tiers, which is not typical in a craft when you have a crafting system like that, and that's so nice.
So nice. It's so nice
because again, it takes away the like tediousness of how that can be sometimes and can turn people off.
Which is also really nice to have a game that is just like I love games that get realistic and like add all those elements to it and kind of like want to put you in that real headspace. But there was something so nice to me again about just playing a game that I was just playing it because I enjoyed it. It really reminded me of like, not that I don't like playing Nintendo games anymore. I don't have that same like itch that some people like you have to play like Zelda or Mario and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'll play them, but it's not totally my thing. But this is the closest I felt to the joy of like playing Mario as a kid for the first time.
I get it.
Because it was just there's no stress to it. I was picking up a controller and playing. It also helps that Stella is adorable. I just want to mention that real quick. Oh my gosh, yes. She's so you know what, Day?
Honestly, kind of. I felt that way too.
Yeah, that's really how I felt.
Binary. I think
because I don't know if I haven't caught any of the spirits assigning
assigning a pronoun. Yeah. I believe that on the Thunder Lotus site that she has her pronouns.
Her pronouns. Okay,
I believe.
If that's the case, then cool. But just like playing it, I kind of was.
No, but like I felt that way too. At first. I was like, this is kind of a non-binary queen over here.
But just like I just loved watching, just like jumping around this ship, always just like a big fucking grin on her face, or even if something goes wrong, it's like. First time I snapped the fishing pole because I just like pulled too hard and I broke it. It was just sort of like back in.
Go again.
Let's go again. Like no, like all right, it's cool.
Yeah, maybe that has something to do with kind of the no stress feeling that you have throughout the game because your avatar essentially is not bothered by anything. Yeah.
Except when your spirits say like snarky shit sometimes. She kind of goes a little bit.
Yeah. Getting back to the spirits,
yes.
They all have these like bittersweet stories that they're telling you.
The whole game is like bittersweet, but it's very the bitter part is so wonderfully sort of like undertoned throughout, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's subtle, but it's there always. Yeah. Some of the spirits are like more overt with their like what is happening, and some of them are a little bit more subtle.
Yeah.
Some of them are like going through it, and
right.
Yeah. But yeah, no. It's all so interesting because each of them is unique and all of them affect you in very different ways.
Yeah.
Because you've got like the uncle spirit. Stella's uncle is on the ship.
I love him so much.
He's this big like frog spirit.
Should we talk about like the spirit forms of the people a little bit? Because like we haven't really covered that. And that's a big part of it.
It is. So one of the unique things about it is Stella presents pretty much as a human.
Yeah.
And Daffodil the cat presents as a cat. All of the wandering spirits in the like open seas present as these like kind of shrouded figures. They're kind of like cloaked and you can't really see their face. And that's just how they look. That's all of the NPCs pretty much.
Yeah, sort of take like one of the kind of like when like in like the game Among Us when they go kind of ghosty.
Yeah.
Like take that, but like give it eyes.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like the look.
That's a good way to put it. So that's what they look like when they're just out and about in like the towns on the islands and things. But when you find a spirit that is going to join you on your ship, you bring them back and then they manifest as some sort of animal form or creature, I should say.
Yes. I'm gonna find something odd, aren't I?
A little bit. Keep fishing.
Well, the way it was put at the beginning was that please give me the name of the very first spirit you have.
Oh, Gwen.
Gwen. When you first meet Gwen, she kind of has a comment about like, it's something along the lines about like, once we're here, we can become like our true form or our true selves, or how we best see ourselves, or something like that. And everyone just has this really cool like creature animalistic like look to them, which again the design on all of them is just so fucking cute.
Everything is it's like it's Ghibli-esque.
Very Ghibli-esque. That was immediately the vibe that I got.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I feel like I feel like this is a like a parallel to like Spirited Away.
Yeah.
This is like the nice version of Spirited Away.
Sort of like Ghibli-esque and like crossed with like the Steven Universe like kind of look to it. It's got that the curves to like a lot of the angles and whatnot.
And the colors too.
The colors too are very
the color palette on this game is incredible.
So good looking.
It's very good. Anyway, so you bring the spirits onto your ship, and they all have like this bittersweet story that they're telling you, because all of them are dead. Yeah, all of them. It's a thing.
It's a thing that keeps happening in the game. Like when I picked up the uncle, who came aboard and immediately turned into this cute, just big frog, and just like immediately I was. First time I saw him, I was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna hug you every day." Like,
I don't think you can ever not hug him.
He's told me no a couple times.
Oh, has he? Oh,
yeah, okay. Yeah. Which I also like about the game too, because it also shows like, oh, it's okay to have boundaries.
Yeah, very true.
Right? Like,
very true.
There was a lot of little things in the game when I was playing. I was just like, if I had a kid, I'd have him play this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I also feel like it's a light introduction to the conversation about
death and
what happens after we die and passing on and like family and whatnot too.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a whole spirit that will not let you hug her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And that's fair. Some people don't like to be hugged.
Great. Yeah. That's and so we've hit on something. All of the spirits are kind of there to teach Stella something. Different aspects. So like the one spirit that I was referring to, who you haven't met yet, but I'm not gonna reveal too much.
No worries. Okay.
She was basically like a severe kind of teacher in her life. And she kind of tasks Stella with like doing things. Kind of like tasks and challenges and things. It's actually some of the more challenging quests in the game.
So homework.
Basically. Yeah. But there's no real like big payoff for it. There's like no reward.
So like
she's
homework.
Just got right. The spirit, her name's Elena. She's just kind of like, good work, student. Yeah. And it like moves on. And it's kind of, she's kind of there to teach Stella, like, sometimes you do a lot of hard work and you do the right thing, but there's not a really big payoff. You don't get rewarded for everything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So things like that. That one just like really stood out to me.
Yeah.
So that's kind of all the management side of the game. Then there's the whole action RPG platformer type thing going on. So
RPG, I would say, is like the lightest of like management system action stuff. Like RPG is like a 2 on the scale.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're not managing like stats or equipment or anything like that, but you are getting powers throughout the game, which assist you in accessing like areas that would otherwise be out of reach, which means you get like the hidden chests and things, which is more items for your ship. So like in that aspect, that's like the 2 on the RPG. Absolutely. So you're plopped down in the middle of like this big ocean, and it's massive. It's a huge map. You have no idea.
Every time it expands when I get like a new spot and it just opens up more, I'm just like, how much more is there on this thing?
Yeah. I did that for most of the game. I was like, how much more could there possibly be?
Which I also like because like basically you start the game, you get Gwen is the first one. Yeah. Kind of takes you through some of the stuff and how to set the guest house and whatnot. Yep. And then the game's just sort of like, okay, go.
Yeah.
Like,
good luck.
Go have fun. but the feeling for me was always like, go play. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't like, all right, on your own. Like the way some open games are like that. So this one was just like, it was like, you're in the sandbox. Go do stuff. Have fun. Like, go play with friends. Go.
Yeah, go make friends. Yeah. No, absolutely. So you've got your ship and you can sail from, island to island, and there's a lot of places that have like no quests or real like people or spirits to interact with. They're just kind of there for you to explore. There's like chests, there's like mines that you can explore, forests and things. But it's never I never feel at any point that it's like too much, like too overwhelming. Like, oh my god, there's so much to explore and I can't explore any of it because there's so much.
Yeah. No,
it's like just enough. And on top of that, with everything being optimized in this game, the game clearly tells you on your map when you're navigating, it'll be like, hey, there's like a chest here that you didn't find. Or there's like something, question marks, something for you to discover. There's a spirit here. There's a sheep here. Things like that.
Yeah. Seeing this, so I got to one of the ones with this. There's one of the spirits on one of the islands by themselves where you have to get the sheep. Yeah. And it was just like, oh, but I'm missing one of my sheep. Well, if you find it, let me know. And so I spent 20 minutes on that island trying to find the sheep. Because
You're thinking like it's gotta be
on this island. And then it was the same thing. I was scrolling through the map and I went to one of the towns. I was going back to one of the towns to go get seeds from that one guy, the big chubby,
the big raccoon guy.
It was a raccoon, who sells you seeds. Who's also delightful as hell. But when I was going back there and I saw the thing, all the indicators, I was like, oh, what am I missing here? I was like, okay. Was it showing me a sheep? I can't. No. And then I went and got the sheep, put it on my boat, and took it back to the island.
Yep.
I was just like, okay. Which I did again with a different sheep on a different island, so now I just have a rogue sheep on my ship that I got nothing to do with right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, so just to let you know, you can build a sheep corral.
Ooh, okay.
You have to find the blueprints for it, of course.
That makes sense.
But you need to build a sheep corral, and then it'll stay in there. But if you don't, it will go rogue and eat your crops as they're growing. So maybe don't grow anything for a little while.
Oh God, I didn't even realize that.
That's the one consequence, I suppose, in this game. Is like the sheep will eat your crops.
I'm gonna have to just abandon the sheep on an island somewhere for a while.
Don't abandon the sheep.
But you need it. So I'm not doing anything to take care of it on my boat.
You're not feeding it?
Not. I mean, like I am sometimes, but it was also.
Are you sharing it?
No.
Oh, you need the corral. You can share it.
All right. Well, look. I got so much shit on my plate in that game right now. All right.
That's fair. That's fair. But you're gonna be sad if you don't keep it.
Okay, fine. I'll keep the damn sheep. Jesus. What were we talking about?
So the RPG, or not the RPG, but the platformer aspect of it. So
which is super fun.
So throughout the game, as you ferry spirits to the door, they pay you in what is called obol, and it's just one coin payment for their passage. And you can use those obols at the shrines that are scattered across the seas, and every time you do, you get some sort of like power up or improvement or your typical platformer type action. So like a double jump, gliding, there's a dash that you can get, and then like a light burst. Oh yeah, the dash will change your life, let me tell you.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's very nice. And the islands are set up in like your typical platformer array, so like lots of large platforms, hidden stuff, shafts of air that you can glide up and then ride over to the island that you can't see that's out of the frame, things like that. So that's like the exploration kind of platformer aspect of it. But like that's like very simple. It's more about the management system.
The management system is the big part, but just it's just again it's a credit to, I'm sorry, what's the company's name that made
Thunder Lotus?
That's a great name. It's a credit to the team at Thunder Lotus who made it, because it's like obviously the management system is like the big part of the game for just like this. I would call it the selling point for the game of like that delightful like fun management system and whatnot. But like
absolutely,
platforming and running around is so much fun. One of my favorite things in the game is. It's only a platforming thing. And it was also where I kept expecting hard consequences to eventually come into play in the game or something to be like. And it was the first time I went through a thunderstorm after I'd gotten the uncle, the frog character. And then he called me over in the thunderstorm and I was like, this is it. This is when he's going to tell me like, you got to avoid lightning strikes and the ship will go down and blah, blah, blah. And I go, but he's like, it's a lightning storm. Do you want to catch lightning in a bottle? And I was just like,
hell yeah, I do.
Of course I do. Who says no to that question ever? And then just, especially now that I got my shit like stacked high, bouncing around, catching lightning is just so much fun.
Yeah. I adore those. Like, so these are like resource collection mini games because, like the lightning in a bottle, you're going to use that to like craft things later. And there's tons of these collection mini games that occur throughout the game. Yeah. My favorite one being the meteor shower, where you can collect the meteor ore.
I haven't gotten the meteors yet
because it's just stunningly beautiful, and there's this beautiful orchestral moment happening behind it. Solid 10 out of 10 would recommend.
We cannot talk enough about just how gorgeous this game is.
Absolutely. And then after you spend your time with all of the spirits, taking care of them, making sure they're comfortable, improving their mood and everything, you have to start ferrying them to the other side once they're ready to go.
I am not ready. I haven't done it with a single spirit yet. I know I'm not ready for it.
You're not.
I know I'm not.
I promise
I'm going down. Like, just hanging out with them or picking them up on the boat has already made me tear up. We're just like talking to them, learning about their stories, and just like all the Gwen's story right now is the one that like hits me the hardest because I've already gone back like to the family mansion and heard her like talk about that stuff, and it's just like
so bittersweet. Yeah.
It's so wonderfully real in the best way because it's like it's heavy, like it's heavy stuff, but it's not like, I don't know. The point of the game isn't to be heavy. Like, does that make sense? Like, it's heavy. It talks about stuff that is a bit more emotionally driven, but it never makes you feel like it's not like Last of Us where it's like it's sort of like hammering the point in. It's more just like, listen, this is death. Like, it happens. Yeah. And you know, some people's lives are a little bit more tragic than others, but you know, that's just kind of, I don't know ultimately what it's trying to say with all that, but it's just kind of going like, this is just sort of how it is, but it's an easy way to kind of put that lesson across.
It's not like shoving it in your face.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like, this is what it is. And yeah, it's deep, it's emotional, like, it's hard, but like, it's okay.
Yeah. And and isn't it nicer to sort of think about death like this?
Yeah.
That, you know, your loved ones that aren't with us anymore are either in the, what's it called when you pass them through? Like the Everdoor. They're either on the other side of the Everdoor, or they're on a boat just like kind of chilling and living their best afterlife, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me know once you take somebody through.
God, you will know. Trust me, you will know.
I cried just about for everyone. Not everyone.
I cry so much as it is.
Even ones that I was like, I'll be fine. It won't bother me that much.
I feel like with characters like that, those are the ones that hit the most. Because it's always like when they say in anything when they say goodbye.
When they get like real honest. And then they were kind of jerks before, but now they're like, hey.
Yeah, and it's always the characters who are like, I know I wasn't easy to be around, but I really appreciate you putting up with me. You're just like, stop it.
Yeah.
Great. That's going to be fun.
You're welcome.
I'm excited. I really am excited. I can't express how much I was shocked at how much I love this game.
I'm recommending this game to everyone I know.
Like, person everyone I know about this fucking game.
Absolutely.
And if you get this game. It's free on Game Pass.
It is criminally underpriced on like the Nintendo.
Yeah, what'd you tell me? It's like $35. I think
it's like $35, I believe, was the last I checked. It might be, you know, on sale or whatever now, but criminally underpriced.
It gives
for the amount of hours that you get out of it, for the story. Yeah. It's a fucking hand-drawn game. Beautiful score, like criminal.
Yeah, I haven't beaten it yet. I've already gotten more out of this game than I have from certain AAA titles. Like games that cost $60.
I think on their site they say like, we make AAA games with like indie heart, and I was just like,
that is really what it is. It's really what it is.
Yeah. So as I said before, Thunder Lotus, the developers and the publishers of this game, have two other games called Sundered and Jotun. Sundered is like a Metroidvania action RPG platformer situation.
I've seen a little bit of Sundered. I didn't realize that it was related to the same guys who made this one.
Well, how would you? I know. How could you? These are two very different tones.
Yeah, what I've seen of Sundered, it's a very different tone.
Yeah, it's like an eldritch horror. It's like Lovecraft meets Metroidvania.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
And then Jotun is an action explorer, top down, kind of like a Diablo. And you go through these different worlds, and it's set in like Norse mythology, and you're fighting like Jotun.
Yeah.
So three very different games, all from the same publisher.
Let's just drop the subterfuge. This is now a Thunder Lotus podcast.
We are Thunder Lotus stands.
Only talking about Thunder Lotus games from here on out.
That's funny.
Get ready to talk about the other two games they have, and then we'll just go back to talking about Spiritfarer for a while.
I can talk about Spiritfarer for hours.
All day.
But if you're interested in checking Thunder Lotus out at all, you can go to their website. It's thunderlotusgames.com, and you can sign up for their newsletter and see what they're up to. Yeah. I think we can expect really great things from them in the future. And I'm really excited to see what else they do. Yeah. And Spiritfarer has two, so they've had a first DLC already drop.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
They had. It was earlier this year, I believe.
Got it.
That was the Lily update.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then there's another one scheduled for summer, so like any time now, with a new spirit, new quests, things like that. And then another one this fall with 2 new spirits, a new event, new island, new quest.
Oh my god!
Like it's the game that keeps on giving.
Yeah. I'm putting the energy out into the universe, and we'll see what happens with it. I would love to talk to somebody from Thunder Lotus about this game.
Oh my gosh,
that would be the fucking best. Just to get like what was in everyone's headspace, like what was the original, what was the inception to come up with something like this. Like I would love that.
Oh my gosh, to talk like to a writer or a producer or somebody. Oh my gosh,
I'm just putting it out there just to see what happens.
Thunder Lotus, call us.
Yeah. and if you don't, we still love your game. Like just
absolutely. All right, folks, we've made it to the bonus round. Jordan, today I thought it would be fun to just kind of muse about what we might display as on Stella's ship. What would we manifest as, and what would we occupy our time doing on the Spiritfarer's ship before we pass over through the Ever Door? So I want to know what spirit, like what animal or creature you would manifest as.
Okay.
I want to know what food you like and dislike on the ship, what your favorite food would be, and then I want to know, like, how would you help out on the boat?
Okay. The food one's gonna be the toughest one for me, I think. So I'm gonna leave that to last, if that's okay.
And like, I know you probably haven't made too many of the recipes on the ship, but you can.
Oh no, you can make a few. Things. Oh, strictly for recipes that you can kind of do on the ship.
You know, I was gonna say you can probably you can veer outside of those recipes.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, cool. As far as animal goes, I feel like that one's for me, at least to me in my head. It's fairly straightforward for me. I think I definitely manifest as a bear.
Yeah.
Like a big, just like a big grizzly. Like that just makes the most sense to everybody. But like, I don't know. I feel like just like an extra large, like Winnie the Pooh bear would kind of be like what I'd come out as. You know what I mean?
I just picture that in the animation style.
Yeah, and like always ready to hug. Like what we were talking about before, like my guy definitely is always up for a hug. Like there's no
down to hug.
Down to hug. That's a shirt.
Are you DTH?
Hey, you DTH? Get the fuck away from me.
Oh my goodness.
No one knows what it means. Yeah, there'd be that. I think for helping on the helping out on the ship, what would my guy do? I don't know. What would you have me do on the ship?
I would have you, since
I will have my own answer. I'm just
no, that's cool. I would put you in the smithy. Which you probably haven't gotten to yet.
Smithy, yeah.
But yeah, you can put like ingots, or like maybe the foundry, where you make the ingots. But I let's stick with the smithy. So you put like ingots into like this big furnace, and it melts into this like ball, and you pound it out, and it makes this like metal sheet.
Yeah. That's definitely absolutely. That's where I want to go. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that'd be good. And then for food, you can make coffee really easily, which I do enjoy in the game. So coffee would definitely be on my list.
Of like likes.
Of like definitely likes of like you could probably feed that one to me anytime and I'll be pretty good. Something else I like too is that like again existing in the world of like we're in the spirit world, so like rules don't apply anymore, is that coffee's a full meal to your spirits.
Right.
which I'm like, I've tried that in real life and it doesn't work
out.
What would be the foods that I would really want to... Some of the food in the game is really delicious looking, too. Just to add it to, like, the overall look of the game, like, mixed veggies look fucking delicious. So those would be good. It would really... what am I doing? Of course, my favorite would be tacos. What am I doing? Who am I? Why did that take me so long? It'd be tacos. I fucking love tacos.
There you go. Favorite food, tacos.
So you could give me tacos anytime on that boat, and I would never be mad about it.
Love it. Anything you dislike? Or you're like, no, thanks.
I don't know if they're in the game, but not peas. Not big on peas. No beans.
Oh, right. Your thing with beans.
It's not a thing with people have food they don't like, and it's totally normal. So everyone else who makes a big fucking thing whenever every time I mention that I don't like beans. So always one go, why do you fucking not like beans? I don't know because I don't like some things. It happens.
I know.
I don't have a thing with beans. Everyone else has a thing with me not liking beans.
I don't have a problem. You have a problem. Okay, so dislikes beans. Got it. That went off the rails quickly.
I'm in a mood today. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to trigger you with beans.
Be the one consequence in the game with my character is that if you try to bring in beans, he just loses his shit completely.
Leaves the ship.
Just takes the boat and just paddles away. Oh, so yeah, maybe a taco eating bear working in the foundry. I like it. I really like it.
Honestly, that's awesome.
Yeah. So what about you, Brendan?
So I think that I would manifest as like a bird spirit of some kind.
Ooh, okay.
Like a raven or a crow.
Are we going to talk about the fact... This is going to mean a lot to a lot of people. Are we going to talk about the fact that we both picked the animals we played as when we did Midsummer?
Oh, that's very true. I forgot about that. That's right, you were a bear.
I was a bear and you were a bird.
I identified with that bird very much.
Right.
Well, no, because, like, I mean, okay, so, like, ravens, like, and just, like, birds in general are, like, like, they, like, kind of primp and preen and like keep themselves clean and are a little vain but like are, you know, like very knowledgeable,
incredibly smart,
and can be good companions. It's true, you know, things like that. So like that's what led to my decision.
No, it makes sense. Okay, I got you.
There's a meal that Stella can make called beef fondue, and I would that would be my favorite.
That'd be like the top
I think that would be my favorite. I do love fondue. And I things that I would stay away from or like dislikes. I think some of like the fish stuff.
Really?
I'm just kind of like, no thanks. Like the steamed shellfish that you can make.
Oh,
or like the oysters and stuff. I'm like, nah, I'll pass.
Oh, I love oysters. I love steamed mussels and that stuff's so good.
I do like some of it. But some of it I'm just like, no.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. You know. And just like general likes. I think so. You know how like food has like categories?
Yes.
I think that the two categories of foods that I would like would be like comfort food and healthy food. Oh, yeah. You know, because like I like
it's a hard end to the different sides of the spectrum there.
I know, because like veggie pot pie, amazing, but also like a leafy green salad, also good. So I think that would be yeah. Oh, and what I would do on the ship. What would I do on the ship? I think I would like take care of like the plants. I think I would like be working in the garden.
That was one of the
orchard.
That was definitely somewhere I thought that I would put you. You get an orchard in the game?
Yeah, you can grow trees.
Oh my god.
Yeah. You can have a garden. There's garden. What's the other one called? Because there's like a regular garden, and then there's like a different kind of garden.
Oh, the field.
Yeah, field. Thank you.
So you get the field. That's where you grow like the linen stuff, and then
correct. Right. And there's like different categories for what goes in what. But yeah, also an orchard. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
You can grow fruit trees.
Need to get that quick because finding wood's a pain in the ass.
Oh no, not those kind of trees.
Damn it.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Find the turtles.
No, okay.
Find the turtles.
Find the turtles. Anything else that would just sound like a weird ass riddle?
So you need to. So like just a little tip here. Yeah. There's these turtles that you can find, and they actually have spots on their back where you can plant rocks or like planks or logs and grow that kind of thing.
That is awesome.
And there's 3 of them in the game. You have to find the spirit Astrid first.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. But yeah, so I think that's what I would be. I would be like some sort of like raven spirit, and I would help out on the in the growing the things.
I picture, for some reason, I picture just you as like a raven thing, just chilling in the garden with like a little flute or like a clarinet that you use to like
to play music for the plants.
To play music for the plants and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I say in my head. I like it. I really like it.
I like it too. So catch us in the fall update, the Bear Spirit and the Raven Spirit in Spiritfarer this fall.
That won't happen, but I would cry for a year.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening. That is all the time that we have for today. We absolutely adored Spiritfarer, are continuing to adore Spiritfarer, and we hope that maybe you give this title a shot. If you do play through it, let us know. We want to know what you guys are up to, and let us know if you cried as much as I did.
And to talk to us more about what you think of Spiritfarer, or for other discussions you would like us to have on the show, suggestions for other games and whatnot, please hit us up at 3vopodcastteam@gmail.com. Also, you can find us on all the stuff online: Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. Instagram, all the good stuff, all under 3VO Podcast. So, and make sure you like and comment and subscribe and share with people, all that stuff, and rate us on anything that has the rating system and whatnot. It really means a lot. And just thank you guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.